For any Xbox or PlayStation codes or anything gaming related, check out g2a.com, and if you need any Ultimate Team coins, then head over to FIFA. The code CHES will get you a discount on both sites, and all links are down below. Hey guys, how's it going? Ches back again, and welcome to episode number 35 of the Chelsea Career Mode here on FIFA 15. We start with a game at home against Newcastle United. A tough test, but hopefully we'll be able to come out on top. As you can see, we're currently third in the table. Newcastle down in 10th, although there's not too much of a gap between us. We'll start with some team news.
Here's the Chelsea lineup. Thibaut Courtois starts in goal. Ricardo Rodriguez starts with Carvajal in the fullback positions. Ramirez starts with Nemanja Matic in central midfield. In attack, Diego Costa starts. He's been in tremendous form recently. Newcastle United's lineup. Tim Krul starts in goal. Jack Colback starts with Johan Gouffran looking to provide width. Emmanuel Riviere is the main striker today.
Missing Fabrizio Coloccini at the back there, Newcastle, so you would have thought that their centre-back pairing was not going to be as strong as it potentially could have been. We're going to try a free kick here from distance with Hulk, yet to score his first goal for the club. He's going to try a cheeky free kick from about 35 yards. Unfortunately, comes off the wall. But Costa keeps it in, squares it across, and Eden Hazard just can't quite get there, and it's scrambled clear by the Newcastle defence. Although we were on top for the majority of this game, Newcastle did have a few chances of their own. Jack Colback weirdly playing that ball out to Sissoko there. I expected him to have a shot and he didn't. Sissoko will get a cross in, and it's actually Colback again on the chance at the back post with a header trying to get it back across goal towards the near post. The Ginger Pirlo, Jack Colback, obviously moved from Sunderland to Newcastle in the pre-season of the 2014-2015, and he's actually doing quite well at Newcastle in real life. They beat West Brom earlier on today as I record this, so they're clearly playing well right now. 4 wins in a row in real life, but Oscar could have put them 1-0 down here if his finish had been a little bit better. Great build-up play, did well to open the chance up, but then the shot just kind of pulled across goal, and it was really disappointing not to have gotten that at least on target, if not into the back of the net. But Matic has Hazard running out the outside of him. Good save by Tim Krul, they bats it away really well. You see a lot of goalkeepers this year pushing it back into trouble, and Tim Krul there just makes sure he gets it clear and away. But Lucas Piazzon was coming on here, as well as made another change in the midfield, and I can't quite remember who it is, but they made a change in their midfield as well. Actually, it was Lurk Remy, so I remember thinking to myself whilst editing, I brought on Remy and they brought on a Remy as well in Remy Cabella. But we've changed Hazard as well here for Ross Barkley, and they were going to bring on Lacina Traore. And just look at Traore's hair. What is that all about? Absolutely vibrant orange ginger hair and Lacina Traore. I don't really understand what he's going for with that haircut, but regardless, he's obviously going to be a threat up top. But Piazzon's going to have the throw in here. We're right at the very end of the game now, into stoppage time almost. But look, Remy hits the top of the bar against his former club, of course, was on loan at Newcastle last season in real life. In the series, it was the season before last, because of course we're in the second year now, but he came close to getting us a winner there with the header. Just really unfortunate not to have kept it down enough to get it underneath the bar, but he's involved again here, finds Ross Barkley. Ross shows great feet to get past the man. The shot is on target, but again, a good safe save from Tim Krul, getting it away from danger with a good double-handed palm away, and that left us with no goals in the game. 0-0 the final result, and we take a point, but still we created enough chances to have won. Disappointed not to come away with the win, but it's nice to have kept a clean sheet at least to have, you know, a little bit of a positive to take from it. But we're back to cup action today, again with the game against Fulham, a full rotation side being played. Here's your team news.
Here's the Chelsea lineup. Thibaut Courtois starts in goal. Aymeric Laporte plays with Kurt Zouma in central defence. Lucas Piazzon starts with Victor Moses in the wide positions. Wilfried Bony is the main striker today.
So Piazzon and Moses back out wide with Wilfried Bony up top. But most notably again, Ashley Poster, the young 16-year-old kid that has scored in the first round of this competition against Gillingham and had overall a particularly good game. But I don't know how Victor Moses hasn't scored there to put us 1-0 up in the opening 15 minutes or so. He did really well to turn inside, and then just on his left foot completely shanked the shot. Particularly disappointed with him there, but Ashley Poster, like we say, is having his second start of the season so far, and he's been particularly impressive. He's got 5-star skills as well, 16-year-old with particularly good dribbling and technical stats, but it was our goalkeeper that had to be on form there, Thibaut Courtois, again proving that sometimes goalkeepers can push the ball back into danger but still get it safe, if that makes any sense. but Tim Krul really showed the masterclass in that in the previous game. And there, Stekelenburg again, pushing it away and getting it safe, pushing it away from the oncoming Wilfred Boney, was Ashley Posher with the chance again. And Todd Kane plays in Victor Moses here on the right-hand side. About 10 minutes left. Wilfred Boney turns provider here, popping the ball over the top to Ashley Posher, races away from the man and gets the finish in as well. So the youngster has scored in both rounds of the Capital One Cup so far, scoring in both of his games so far this season as well. Absolutely huge goal for him there. He scored the first one against Gillingham, he scored the first one here against Fulham. Actually showed great strength to shove off Scott Parker there. Stat-wise, he only has about 45 strength, but he does seem to be quite strong in game. I've been quite surprised with him in trying to return the favour to Wilfred Boney here by setting the Ivorian through. This time, unfortunately, Stekelenburg comes up with not one but two saves from Wilfred, and we stay at 1-0. But it was enough to give us the win. So Ashley Posher, man, he's so good. He's potentially going to be having some Barclays Premier League action over the next few episodes if I can get him involved. It's just a case of working him in around Ross Barkley and Oscar as well, of course. But we'll have a squad report at the end of this episode. You guys were asking for it in the comments section now that we're out of the transfer window. So, of course, as always with squad report, if you want to have a look at any particular player stats in detail, then feel free to pause the video to have a longer glance. A few players aren't growing as of yet, but a few are actually growing quite nicely. One in particular, Ricardo Rodriguez, he grew loads last year to go from 80 to 83 rated, and he's already up another rating as well, proving that he really is becoming one of the best left backs in world football. Nemanja Matic is becoming fast one of the best, if not the best holding midfielder in the Premier League, let alone Europe as well. But Eden Hazard not really growing much, to be completely honest. I've been really disappointed with that in all honesty, because he really should be growing faster than he is. Not gone up overall at all, and his individual stats aren't really improving either. Look, Remy's still growing nicely though, despite being 28 years old. And Felipe Luis not seeing as much first team football this year as they did last year, because of course we're using Ricardo Rodriguez now as a first team left back, considering he's growing so well. Lucas Piazon hasn't improved on an individual stat basis so far, but he has only played a couple of games today in the cup, etc. Although he did come on against Newcastle, didn't really have an impact though. Boney scored a couple of goals for us already this year, but not really growing anywhere. Ramirez is obviously a fantastic player for us, had a huge impact last year, fantastic player, and this is the guy that you guys wanted to see. Ashley Posher's technical stats are particularly impressive, still only 16 years of age, does only have 45 strength like we say, but really good player so far for me, particularly impressed, and should see him in the first team a few more times this year than perhaps what I might have initially thought, because he has really impressed. 2 goals in his 2 games played so far, though of course they are against lesser opposition in Gillingham and Fulham, but we'll have to wait and see if he can actually make an impact against stronger opposition in the BPL later on in the year. Todd Kane not really growing, although he has played in the Capital One Cup, same as Ashley Posher. Van Ginkel has replaced the absence of William Carvalho so far this year, but hasn't really taken the chance to impress me too much so far. Willian, of course, has been out injured, same with Andre Schürrle, and we've been disappointing, or unfortunate rather, with injuries so far this year. Diego Lopez is improving, which is good. Goalkeeper we brought in the summer to replace, of course, Mark Schwarzer, who retired, and Petr Cech already moved on. A couple of players that we weren't quite able to move on in the transfer window were Victor Moses and Marco Marin, but Moses actually has had a little bit of a part to play in the Capital One Cup so far this year, and Didier again continues to fall in stats. He is unhappy, and unfortunately I just won't be playing him this year. I can't get on with him. He's just not good enough anymore. Torres, of course, still out on loan at AC Milan for an extra season. Not growing as much this year as they did last year, but still seems like a decent professional, and maybe we could get a bit of money for him in the off-season at the end of this second year. A few players out on loan this year as well. Again, a few youngsters, Lewis Baker, Isaiah Brown, Josh McKett, Quintorgan Hazard. Nathan Ake is actually going up in rating despite being in bad form, which is good, because he doesn't get as much first-team football as he may have liked at Chelsea in the first season. Ruben Loftus-Cheek is improving as well, and that kind of rounds out the squad report, because we don't have as many players on our books this year as we did last year, which is a good thing, because I couldn't keep everyone happy last year, and I couldn't keep everyone growing as well with their potential. So it's nice to see the young players growing out on loan, and it's nice to see those that are having their chance in the first team are taking it as well with the main example being Ashley Potter. But as you can see, Spurs sit top, having won all 5 of their opening games. Man United sit second, Swansea third, and ourselves in fourth. Still unbeaten, but we're drawing more games than we are winning at the minute, which is something we need to turn around. Arsenal are still down in 17th, just the 1 win from their opening 5 games, which was their most recent. They didn't win any of the opening 4. But that's going to bring today's episode to a close, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Of course, feel free to leave the video a like if you enjoyed, and check the channel page for anything you may have missed over the past few days, whether it be this series, the My Player series, or the Atletico Madrid Career Mode series, an episode of which will be coming to you tonight, of course. As you can see on screen with the end slate as well, feel free to follow me on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook. All links will be down below, as well as links to g2a.com if you need any Xbox codes or games, etc. And of course, FIFA if you want some Ultimate Team coins as well. But that's all for now for me. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I'll see you tonight with Atleti.